the best transformer Lego has made, but by that guy.
This video is made for adult collectors because that was the box. The rest of the Constructicons have arrived. I'm very excited. Also, Widow's in here, but you know, the Constructicon. So every time I every time I get started on shooting a video like this, I will bring up everything that I need from downstairs because I write and all that down in the basement in my office, and I'll bring it up here to start shooting the video on the next day. There's a piece of cardboard on the desk. I forgot to bring up Bumblebee and Optimus. The big, they're huge. How did I forget? This is cool though.
That's sound quality.
That's so cool. LEGO has done 3 Transformers. The first one was Optimus, designed by former Transformers designer Joseph Kai, and that kind of makes sense when messing with it, because other than the lack of knees, it's very action figure-y. I have to sneeze.
Okay.
Excuse me. Bumblebee followed and was designed by a LEGO Icons designer, and you can tell because it's very LEGO set first, action figures second. It's so structural but barely articulates. Soundwave feels like a mix of both. I mean, Joseph Kai is listed, at least on the wiki, as a designer along with several other people for this, and he has a lot more articulation in the arms.
So
and
cassette player into a transformer.
But the torso has the same like sort of structural integrity as Bumblebee's, which is really good. But the massive butt in the title is the stability only really coming from the torso. There's some wibbly wobbly bits on this that really make messing with this figure kind of
It needs some milk.
The whole thing's bad
The
or it's
bones are
gonna
not
fall
very
apart.
strong.
Far from it, but it has its issues. So let's talk about that. This is LEGO Soundwave from, well, LEGO, and this looks exactly like Soundwave. It looks great, reminding me a bit of the Masterpiece. I love the colors. They look on point with the grays, the blues, the bits of yellow and red throughout. He is a bit exposed in some areas. The joints in the elbows, shoulders, and the hips look a bit funky. I'm also not a big fan of these black bits inside the knees. I kind of wish they were like regular 1x1 gray square tiles. One weird thing about this is that when you move the thigh swivel out, one click, and then use the ankle tilt, he leans forward. It's a bit odd, but he's not gonna fall over. It's just like he leans when you want to get him into a sort of quote unquote dynamic A stance. Head is great, using 3 silver Optimus Prime masks and having optional eyes. You can go toy with yellow or toon with red. I opted for toy because I like the toy design a bit more, but the option to do that is super cool. I kind of wish Optimus came with that option. He does come with his gun and shoulder cannon. The shoulder cannon could not articulate, so if he looks right, he's just staring at the barrel of his own gun. There are a bunch of stickers, the knees, play button, forearms, shoulder bits, and then like the alt mode has some as well, but the Decepticon symbol and the bits on the tapes are not stickers. Speaking of the tapes, he comes with 2, but this door is so simple yet so cool.
So there's actual
it C-clips into a ratchet, and then when you press this bit that like wedges a little plunger down and pops the door open, and then gravity takes over. The instructions say it uses a new element in the tape deck, but I don't know exactly what that new element is. I buy Lego, but not that much to know what the new element might be. I've also had a couple times where the tape deck comes off one of the hinges on the side when you open and close it, like 5 or 6 times. But inside you can fit either Ravage or Laserbeak. Not both though. And they're neat. Ravage I think doesn't look great, but Laserbeak looks fantastic. Laserbeak transforms exactly like the G1 toy with the rockets plugging into the back, and that looks great. All of this stuff is printed. I love the way this looks. Ravage transforms kind of like the Siege one.
Very creative concept as always with
stuff as well. And
Lego and
okay.
Transformers.
Better than the tape mode. Back to Soundwave and the arms specifically. The shoulders don't have enough strength to hold up the gun that well. You have to pose it and kind of hold it there for a second so that it doesn't fall, but then if you like touch it, it just falls. These Exoforce style joints, they're not as strong as I'd like them to be for the shoulders. The legs are also a bit wibbly in the hips because of the weight on those ratchets and how lumbering the legs
feel like you
are.
can sing, but like
Soundwave's
when it's a bit of wind and the sting is on the ground.
Pretty good in the upper body, and then there's like nothing in the lower body. So the head is on a ball joint, and it sits on that ball joint a little weird. It's a mixel joint going down and then to the back. So he can rotate his head left and right. You can look up on that like transformation joint, but if you move that transformation joint up, he can look down, which I think is really neat. There's no tilt at all. It sort of just sits flat. The shoulders, they're on Exoforce ratchets, so they can do a full 360. They can only go out that far, which is a little unfortunate. It's just because the joint's actually like tucked into this shoulder piece here. He does have bionicle hands as double elbows, so you can get the elbow to bend that far. There is no bicep swivel, however, and this is like just a cool thing that Bionicle always did too, because of the space around the ball socket itself.
How much did you get it for?
If I bend the elbow, You get that much rotation
Was
in
it
and that
worth
much
it?
rotation out because there's enough play in there. So I like that. You do at least get some form of a bicep swivel, even though there isn't technically one there. The wrists can rotate, and then the fingers, he's got 3 fingers and a thumb. This hand, for some reason, the gun just is really heavy. It doesn't like that.
He needs
pin.
some
I might
milk.
have to swap that pin out.
It's
'cause
got
it
no
wasn't like
strength.
that before today. The hips.
190
so Optimus
with
Prime
discount.
had really
I
good
see, I
hips
see.
and didn't have knees. Soundwave is the opposite of that. His hips can go out that far, but there's a lot of weight there. Oh, stupid gun. But no, stupid. I'm just gonna remove the gun. Screw the gun. The hips do not go forward and back.
He needs a
They don't
paper
rotate
gun.
forward and back. And you could theoretically do that if you like swapped this ratchet around, but because of this little stability piece right here digging into here,
Some
and you
reason
need that
isn't.
little divot, that probably wouldn't
Or
work.
yours
So
is
you'd have to
fine.
redesign the hips. But he does have knees.
Maybe you've got like
He
a
does
more
have knees.
recent
Optimus
fixed
doesn't have
version.
them, but he has them, and thigh rotation. There's that. Oh, and then ankle tilt, and then the ankles can go forward, and they can't go back. So his articulation's okay. He does have rubber on the bottom of his feet, so he doesn't slide around, which is awesome. I love that they do that. But yeah, his posing is just okay. Laserbeak's articulation, you get a double jointed neck, and then the wings can fold in and out, and then the legs can do that. Ravage actually has quite a lot of articulation. The head can look up and down. You've got a pin here, a joint here, and a joint here, and it's like that on all of the legs. And then the excuse me, and then the little tail could just wiggle. So he's posable. I still don't like the way
It's
that
kinda
this looks,
cute.
but he's articulated. Soundwave though is just kind of eh. So yeah, the structural thing in the joints is a bit eh, and Ravage ain't fun, but I do like the rest of it. Plus this play button here does something cool. Also, one of the guys who did a lot of the music for my favorite game ever, Cyberpunk, worked on the sound brick for
Yeah,
Soundwave.
the film material.
That's so cool.
I
Okay,
could
so the
believe
way
that.
that they explain how this works is that the sounds tell a story, and then that story repeats anytime you hear, or not repeats, the story changes, that's the word, every time you hear the commercial bumper noise from the original cartoon. And so by pressing the play button, you'll hear the sounds. I'm not going to go through all of them because there's like over 30, but I'll go through at least one of the stories.
Interesting. Is he fully Lego? I don't really know what counts as fully Lego, but I think so.
And then it moves on to the next story, and it's a little sound brick. It's located back here. There's the speaker. You got to just undo all the support to take it out, and you can change the batteries if you want to. They take button cells. But what's really cool is that is Frank Welker. I believe they recorded a lot of new stuff for this. I was reading the guy who did Cyberpunk music. I was reading his little portfolio because he talks a bit more about how they designed the sounds for this. And yeah, I think he mentions that Frank Welker did come back to do these.
Interesting.
Because it sounds a lot like him, and it's nice and loud. I've heard some people say it's a little too loud.
Sounds
I think
crazy
it's fine
expensive to get a voice
personally,
actor to
but
do
it's
new
nice-
lines
It's louder
for
than the Blockies one, which I like. 'cause I
specific
can actually
toy
understand what he's
lines.
saying. It's cool. Yeah, that's such a nice inclusion. I'm so glad it's there. But now tape deck mode. Okay, Soundwave's transformation is just like Optimus Prime, almost pretty much identical to the G1 toy. But it does some cool little tricks in there. So what we're gonna do first is we're gonna close up the fists. Just close them up. And then we're going to straighten out the arms, drop them to the side. We're going to remove the shoulder gun. I'm gonna come back here to this backpack section, open it up, rotate the head 180 degrees and fold it in and close that up, and it'll just
Good
very
enough for it.
satisfyingly
Official toy for the
clip into
movies.
place. I love
I
that.
see.
You take the shoulders, you
But yeah, I
unclip
guess it
them, they're
depends on
C-clipped
how
into here.
high
You
profile
bring
the
them
voice
out
actors
all the
are.
way
Makes sense.
like that. Then we're going to fold the hands up and into the back. Now we're going to do the legs, and this is where the clever stuff comes in. So to start with, we're going to fold the feet away. Watch this. That's so
clean.
cool. Look at that. There's automorph in here. I think that's awesome. You fold the feet up, then you bring these sections around and close that up. Then you want to bring the legs out, rotate at the thigh, bring it out all the way. We'll do that on both sides. Bring it out, rotate it around, bring it out all the way. Now you notice, you can kind of see it here. It is starting
Nice
to
split.
split from here and here a little bit. So you just gotta squeeze that back together. That's a little stability thing I'm not a huge fan of. But once you have that, you bring
Yeah.
the legs up and they will just sit and then you fold this section here up and over like that, and then the arm will come and clip into the back section, holding it all into place. I do wish, I don't know how they could have done it because this is the bottom of the foot, but I do wish that utilized this clip here to clip into place more, because this, I'll show you in a second, is not the most stable thing in the world. Here he is in cassette recorder mode. If I pick him up, you see that? Watch.
Yeah.
That's not great, and that's how I would normally pick up a Soundwave or like a Walkman, because I do own a Walkman, but you have to pick it up from here, otherwise the stability will cause these to split and you put stress on those clips. So you got to pick it up from here. Oops, which is a little unfortunate. Also, I forgot to mention that the door with well, let's get Laserbeak transformed first. With Laserbeak in there, the clip doesn't hold super solidly, so that's a little unfortunate. Oh, there it goes. There goes that. It's my biggest problem, stability.
On the bottom.
These though, that's so satisfying. That I have this at my desk and I just keep doing this. It's so satisfying to do. It's
just
so
get
nice,
his fidget spinner at this point.
away. Oh, I forgot about the weapons. So you take this section here, you unclip it, you plug it into this clip at the back here, and then this gun has a dedicated spot right there on that little Technic ratchet piece, and then this gun comes in and plugs into here. Now he is finished.
Perfect.
It's a really satisfying transformation and it looks great. Very Soundwave of it to just have the arms hanging off the back, but the front looks fantastic. I love the speaker bits at the top with the L and the R. All of that is stickers, but it just looks great. It's a massive brick and I like it. You get a little plaque and a small Soundwave to build with, optional chest plates for both Ravage or Laserbeak. Both are prints, by the way. The plaque is a sticker though. There are no volume knobs or switches on the side, which is a little bit but the button on the top does still work. This thing, it is neat. I have some major issues with the solidity of the joints at this price. It's a lot. Yeah. It costs about as much as Optimus, I think. I don't actually remember. Optimus was sent to me by Lego. I didn't actually buy it, but I think they're about the same price. It does more, but is still a lot of money to dump on something like this. This cost me 220 Canadian dollars. Maybe if you can get it for like 20% off, or if you have any insider points at Lego to spend on this, that would be a better, like an easier pill to swallow. It's a lot of money and you can't really do much with it. But that's my look at Lego Soundwave.
It looks nice.
On Twitter and Instagram. I'm gonna open my new toys now. I will see you next time. Bye-bye.
Okay, I think it looks pretty nice. I mean, you know, as a cassette player kind of thing, you just put it there like that. Looks nice. Maybe once you put it as like actual Transformers humanoid version, it's not that strong, so it can't do many poses, but